Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 Suite build video. And today I am building this Japanese capsule hotel. Now, I've always been so intrigued by these style of hotels. I think I saw them a couple of years ago from someone who was just touring them. It's like one of those social media videos where they're like, hey guys, I'm in Japan, and this new, interesting, intriguing type of residential space that I want to introduce you guys to. I think it was like in the same stream of videos as the videos you normally watch where they say they've got like translucent public toilets, and as soon as you enter it changes color, or when they say that there's like these really cool innovations between homes. And it was just basically like one of those videos you watch online about different types of innovations other countries do and how they utilize space and how they utilize technology. And I was watching it, and then it came across a capsule hotel, and I was thinking, amongst anything, this is like my dream hotel. Now, the thing is about me, I've said like a lot of things. Like, honestly, the last video I created was a dream house. So I have like so many different types of things that I'm interested in. But the thing is about me, what I would say is that I really kind of bounce off of two. I either like grandiose or I like ultra minimalist. I don't really like the in-between, but that's what I expect that I'm going to end up having in the future. So it's not necessarily that I mind it too much, but I'm okay. I'm okay with the in-between. That's what I'm gonna get, so I'm fine with that. But I do, if I was to say my dream, my essence, my everything is a balance between grandiose and ultra minimalist. So when I say this, I mean grandiose. I don't know if anyone knows who Tyler is, but Tyler is a singer that's currently blowing up at the moment. And she did a video of her touring a space when she went to South Korea. And she went and she got the presidential suite and she was touring it. And I was looking at it and I was like, this is so beautiful. It had its own dining area. It had its own living area. It had the biggest jacuzzi bathtub you've ever seen. It was like the ultimate grandiose exposure you can ever see within like a hotel. And I was looking at it because I also really just love hotels in cities, rather like take me to a city, rather than like near the ocean because I fear drowning. But if you're going to take me near the ocean, take me somewhere like in the Caribbean, because I don't know why I've always loved the oceanic vibes of the Caribbean amongst anywhere else. Like, take me to the Caribbean because I want to see a Caribbean sunset sometime this time in my lifetime. But yeah, she was showcasing her presidential suite in South Korea, and I was like, this is so great. And that was like ultimate grandiose. So then there was the opposite end of the videos I watched a few years ago where this person was touring these capsule hotels they have in Japan, where it's like you go into the hotel and you have the amenities section. So you have maybe communal showers, you have communal bathrooms or something like that. But then you will have that, like the actual capsule like experience. So sometimes they do like ultra futuristic. Sometimes they do a natural minimalistic, which is what I went for. And sometimes they just do kind of in between a bit of traditional Japanese architecture and interior design and a little bit of modernism and contemporary, forgot the name. But, yeah, they do like a mix of that, and there's so many different types. But what I did is that I kind of did a mashup of two. One of the things that I really struggled with when creating this build was understanding how to do the exterior. It's why the exterior is like a huge majority of this video. It's like half the video. Normally the exterior takes up like a quarter of the video, and then it's normally debug, just trying to make it look as realistic as possible, and then in the interior design. But this video is like a majority of me doing the exterior, just because I had no clue what this was supposed to look like on the outside. And I looked at videos and pictures, and the thing is, again, the issue that I have with this build, which I have with a lot of builds I do that are residential, this isn't actually residential, by the way. You can make it residential, but I'll tell you the reason why I made this into a generic community lot in a second. But the reason why I have such big issues with like doing multi-residential places like apartment buildings and stuff like that is that the thing that makes an apartment look so realistic is the height of it, how tall you can get. And I understand why The Sims doesn't allow us to get too tall, because even once we go above 2 levels, it's already like going crazy in terms of camera controls, let alone if we go to 3 level, let alone if we go to like 8 levels above ground. I understand fully why we do not have a lot of like height when it comes to this that, and the potential lag that could come into it and stuff like that. It'll just be like a whole kind of mess. I understand. But the issue with it is that a lot of things don't end up looking as realistic as you want them to be. Now, I know I only used 3 levels. I could have used 4 levels, but the reason why I didn't use 4 levels into this is because I feel like if you do want to make it a residential rental, 6 units are enough because there are 6 living spaces and 6 units are enough. But honestly, add another level if you want to. Just go by the pattern of if when one is in, one is out. And what I mean by that is the push out of the windows. As you can see here, this is when I'm like, I think this is when I'm still messing around a little bit, trying to understand how I'm supposed to have the layout. Because I was trying to make it as close to a capsule hotel as the capsule hotel as possible by having the ladder kind of be very, very close to the doors as possible. So originally it was like 2 tall spaces away, but I was like, no, this feels like a bunker. I don't want that. I want it to look like there are like individual spaces, almost like an aircraft, like that, because I feel like there's a lot of inspiration with capsule hotels of the futurism about it and the and all of the types of like thinking about the future and space and sci-fi and everything like that. So I was thinking, okay, I want to add that element because I've already kind of done it by putting those lights on the ground. It's one of my favorite things to do in The Sims because it creates this whole, like, again, I'm going to say future vibe of a build. I've done it only think one other time. I've done it within like creating videos. I've done it a lot in private, but one other time I've done it when creating videos was when I made my CC minimalist cave house that I would love to have as a holiday home, maybe not live in, because I love exploring caves. I like being in caves, but I love that also the freedom of being able to escape the cave. I don't think I would actually sleep in a cave because I have that paranoia of the cave caving in into itself. But that's the only other time I've ever used those lights at the bottom of a build. But I used it again because it just adds a really good ambience into the build. It doesn't make it feel like actual spaceship, or it doesn't feel like it's like very clinical, because I feel like headlights, we all know this. It was a big thing in 2020 where we discussed how we don't necessarily like having headlights on. I don't have my ceiling light on often. I've got a lamp actually on the ground in my room, and that creates like an ambientic light up into my room because I just love that. And then sometimes I have a candle, and sometimes I have my Hollywood mirror light, but the only time I ever have the ceiling light is when I'm looking for something, or I am getting into the shower, getting out of the shower, or doing my makeup or some form like that. But any other time, reading, relaxing, watching TV, it's mainly that lamp that is on in the bottom corner of my room. But yeah, so I wanted to add the light to add that effect and everything like that. And I was just like so intrigued by these hotels. And the reason why I like the minimalism of it is that as much as I love grandiose, I said in my previous video, as big and as amazing as that townhouse is, and thank you so much for showing so much love to that townhouse. I really appreciate it. A lot of you said, some of you even said that, oh, it reminds you of Remote Place. And I've always been intrigued with them, thinking it's coming up to Halloween season. And I was thinking maybe I could do something, especially with like the whole news about the Harry Potter open casting coming out, which I'm so about, because I'm too old for it and I'm too young for it. But I honestly, as much as it intrigues me, I don't think my parents could have ever let me go into the acting light anyways. As much as I absolutely love the film industry, I really do have a passion of being behind the camera, creating it rather than being on it. I don't mind being in it. I actually would love to do it, but my ultimate passion is to create the films rather than to be in the films or create the TV shows and stuff like that. But anyways, I thought as soon as we're coming up to the Halloween season, I could actually do Remote Place. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do another London townhouse, especially in that kind of variety anytime soon. I was thinking maybe to do different things, like maybe a pumpkin patch, or maybe, the only thing I had in my head was a pumpkin patch. I am so sorry. I was thinking of just doing things not necessarily Halloween inspired, but more like fall inspired. But speaking of that, now I want to say something that I've had in my heart for a long time. And I don't think I said this on my upload of the townhouse because I was just like talking about a whole bunch of things. But we have had information about we're going to have a Life and Death expansion pack come out on Halloween itself. And I don't know how to feel about it just because I don't know, because I don't know where they take it. That's the problem with The Sims, is that the concept can be interesting. It can be quite intriguing, but yeah, it can be quite intriguing. I'm so sorry about that. I got someone was at the door and I wasn't told there was going to be a package today. My dad ordered something and he didn't tell me. So I was just running downstairs only to realize, oh God, I'm in my pajamas. Because I've just woken up and it's like, yeah, I haven't just woken up. I've been in bed all day, but I wasn't expecting to get ready for anything because I would have got myself a little bit more presentable if I knew anything was coming. And the person put it a bit of a stretch away, so I just hope no one looks at the camera and just sees my odd self crawling on the floor to try and get the package without anyone actually seeing how much of a state I am. But beyond that, I was saying, with The Sims, the concept is always very cool, but you never really know what you're going to get in terms of gameplay, where they're going to go with it. But one thing I really thought about when they said life and death, what really hit me, and I haven't watched too many videos. I've watched Little Simsy's video on it, and I've watched like one other video. But what I think that might come with the life and death, and someone said, oh, exploring different dimensions and stuff like that, because we've done that before in The Sims 3, exploring the utopias and the dystopias and everything like that. I feel like the most like opportunistic thing to do in The Sims 4 with a life and death pack, especially since it's falling exactly on Halloween Day, is to bring out more supernatural creatures into it and to bring out specifically ghosts. Because I think of this as The Sims 3 supernatural pack. We had werewolves, ghosts, fairies, witches, and vampires came with late night. Yeah, we had those types of occults. And the cults that we're missing at the moment that we're in The Sims 3, if we want to do comparisons with The Sims 3, are ghosts and fairies. So, fairies. So I was thinking that like the most opportunistic thing you can do with the life and death pack is to put ghosts in it, because that where else would you put them? You can't bring out, because we've had paranormal stuff and we have had an expansion of ghosts in that, but not like an occult type, not something you can pick. Like you can't be a ghost, like you can't create a ghost and create a sim. You can become one, but you can't. I don't even know if you can play in one. But this is like something that I feel like they could do with the life and death one, as well as, you know, some people have been saying that there could be a opportunity to play the repair, so that could be a career. I don't know so much as because the problem again with The Sims 4 is that so many things have already been diversified into individual packs of their own that it's really difficult to understand what you could actually end up putting into this pack, because we've had paranormal stuff, which was a huge chunk of what you would expect in the life and death pack, with communicating with ghosts and the dead and mediums and all of that. We've had a haunted lot type, because that is what we again got in paranormal stuff. We've had spooky stuff, so we kind of got the gist of like Halloween stuff in that. We've had vampires, we've had werewolves, which are something that would be like normally explored a lot on Halloween Day. The only thing I can think of, I don't think The Sims 4 would ever touch, is truly life and death. And the thing is about The Sims is that it is rated teen in America, it's rated PG-13 in the UK, PG-12 actually. So the things that they could explore in life and death are truly only funerals, and I feel like even that would be a question mark, because The Sims likes to joke a lot. Like they really love to have their funny moments. So to do something as serious as life and death without potentially like, you know, hurting it, I don't want to talk down on the pack, because it's literally, we've only had the snippets of understanding of it. It is still in our minds, our concept. We have not had anything else. We haven't seen what kind of furniture, what kind of sim stuff, what kind of gameplay. We haven't had. I don't want to be the person that trashes on a pack before it comes out. So I'm not going to speak too much on that. But what I'm saying is that it's just really hard to think of what they're going to do with it, because we had so many aspects of it already out, and the aspects we haven't had out, with how The Sims like to program the games, it seems like it could go very downhill with the way they decide to make it. Like if they try to joke with life and death, or if they like, I don't know, because there's always been death. I'm not the type of person to say there's been so much death recently. There has always been death. If you look in the history books, there's always been so many deaths. And I just don't know how you can do life and death in such a trepid period within the community where there is so many like feelings about death. I can only think you can do funerals, and with the ways The Sims 4 goes, I don't know if you can, you know, joke about that. And then there's also like an afterlife. And that's some place I really think the Sims 4 would never even touch. They don't touch anything to do with like contemporary religions. They don't even try and make their own religion. Like they're really like far away from that. So it's just, honestly, yeah, I think this is one of the aspects of The Sims that I cannot predict what they're gonna do. And I think that kind of makes it a little bit more intriguing, because I really do wonder what they would do. I would normally think if we didn't have the vampires pack, they would set it in the Victorian period, because that's a period a lot of people associate with death. So if they had a lot of Victorian pieces, but we have that with vampires. So it's just like, oh, it's interesting. I'm excited. I'm excited to see, but I do think ghosts will be something that will be very opportunistic for them to unload with a life or death pack. But anyway, with this hotel, I honestly, I love it so much. Anyway, I wanted to talk about why I ended up deciding to do this in a generic lot type instead of doing it as a residential rental. It's because, one, anyone can download it, and two, I feel like this is such a key lot to have if you're starting from rags to riches and you want to kind of like cheat a little bit. So this way, on this pack, I've tested it out. Your sim can sleep fully all night, shower, eat and like brush the teeth, use the toilet and everything, and not have to worry about finances leaving the wallet. So you can really just go off on that if you're doing rags to riches, or you just want to pretend on your little holiday away, or you're trying to get away from the other Sims in your family and you're just going to relax here. But yeah, I really love this. This is something I don't think I've seen anyone else create. So it was like really like untouched ground for me to do. I really didn't know how I was going to get around to do it, but I really love it. Yeah, and I'm so sorry I haven't been that consistent with my uploads. It's been a lot of things floating around in my head. And also I wanted to say that I am trying my best. In my previous video, I did upload full plans onto my Patreon, which is always free when it comes to downloading my build tray files. And I'm going to try and keep up with that. It just depends. It's because there's just so much cross thingies to do when you're by yourself and trying to maintain 3 uploads a week. I have to remember the floor plans. I have to remember to upload the tray files onto Patreon. I have to remember to upload TikTok videos, Instagram videos, Pinterest, as well as like doing the whole voice recording, editing and filming and everything like that, and doing all of that 3 times a week whilst trying to keep up with applying for a job, because the one main priority in my life that isn't like, you know, friends and family is to get a job beyond anything else. So it's been a little bit difficult to kind of keep up with everything, but I'll try. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but if you don't do, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblings. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments, the more the merrier. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!